Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to prove once again that humans are truly the deadliest species in the universe, as we explore the most powerful weapons ever created by the human mind and hand. And this is the best HFY story. The first story today is called A Matter of Time. The year is 2389, and humanity has finally broken through the boundaries of interstellar space to make first contact with an alien race. Of course, it's hostile, but what do you expect? It's an alien cockroach, but it's big enough that we can mine it for its unique alloys. But there was one thing that no one expected from this creature. In fact, scientists were actually quite surprised when they took it back to the lab because they couldn't figure out how it worked. Turns out that the ship had been emitting a strange energy signature for some time now. This energy signature disrupted the sensors on the ship, making it impossible for them to detect what was coming until it was too late. Well, they figured it out and then decided that the weapon wasn't worth the effort. They just killed the beast by simply crushing it. In our second story, we find ourselves on a world overrun by insects. Humanity has been pushed to the brink of extinction by these massive bugs that have grown so large because Earth's ecosystem has been destroyed. But one man remains who is determined to take down these beasts once and for all. He's armed with nothing but his wit and a rocket launcher. With the help of a few friends, he manages to build traps that will lure the giant insects into deadly ambushes. He also creates an army of bots to help him in his fight against the bugs. But even with all this, he's still almost wiped out when he's forced to flee from a horde of angry beetles. But he makes it to his rocket ship and blasts off into the sky, where he sets his sights on taking down the queen bee. Our third story takes place in a dystopian future where the Earth is ruled over by a tyrannical regime. In this future, there's no freedom or privacy, and everyone is monitored at all times. In order to survive, people must live underground in vast networks of tunnels where they can hide from the prying eyes of their oppressors. But there is hope on the horizon as a group of rebels has risen up against the regime in hopes of restoring freedom to the people. They've built a network of safe houses where people can go to escape the regime's clutches. And they've even developed a plan to overthrow the regime and restore freedom to the people. But the regime is not going down without a fight. They've deployed their most elite soldiers to hunt down the rebels and crush their movement before it can gain any momentum. But the rebels are prepared, and they were able to hold off the regime's forces long enough for their plan to come to fruition. In the end, the rebels are victorious and freedom is restored to the people. In our fourth story, we find ourselves on a planet that is being terrorized by a massive worm that is draining the life out of everything. It's so big that no one can even see its end. But a small group of people have managed to build a bunker that protects them from the worm's attacks. They've also built a machine that will allow them to track the worm's movements and predict its next attack. But the worm is too powerful and eventually finds a way to break into the bunker. The group is forced to flee into the sewers, where they must fight off hordes of rats and navigate a labyrinth of tunnels. But they're not alone. A young boy named Sammy has snuck into the bunker and is determined to help the group escape the worm. With Sammy's help, the group is able to escape the sewers and make it to the surface, where they find that the worm has been defeated. In our fifth story, humanity is under attack by an alien race that is using advanced technology to destroy our planet. We've done everything we can to defend ourselves, but nothing seems to work. The aliens are too powerful and we're losing hope. But then one scientist comes up with a plan that just might save us all. She has discovered that the aliens are using a device called a quantum gate to transport their weapons and troops to our planet. And she believes that if we can destroy the gate, we can cut off their supply line and force them to retreat. But the gate is heavily guarded, and it will take a team of elite soldiers to take it down. The soldiers are selected and trained for the mission, and they set off to take on the aliens. They fight their way through hordes of enemies and eventually reach the quantum gate. But as they prepare to strike the final blow, they're ambushed by the aliens' leader. He's a powerful warrior, and the soldiers are quickly overwhelmed. Just when all hope seems lost, one of the soldiers remembers a weapon that they had overlooked. They had brought along a device that could disrupt the quantum gate's energy signature. It was designed to be used as a last resort, but now it was their only hope. The soldier activates the device, and the gate begins to destabilize. The alien's leader is stunned, and the soldiers seize the opportunity to attack. They take down the leader and destroy the gate, forcing the aliens to retreat. For our final story, we find ourselves in a world where the sun has gone out, plunging the world into darkness. Without the sun, the Earth has become a frozen wasteland, and humanity is on the brink of extinction. But a small group of survivors has managed to build a shelter underground where they can grow crops and raise animals. They've also built a device that can generate artificial sunlight, which allows them to grow crops and raise livestock. But the group is dwindling, and they need to find a way to bring more people out of the shelters and back into the world. One member of the group comes up with a plan to send a message into space for help. They use a powerful transmitter to send a signal that will reach the nearest star system. The message is received, and a rescue mission is sent to the planet. The survivors are overjoyed, and they prepare to welcome their rescuers. But when the rescue ship arrives, they find that it's carrying something that they weren't expecting. The ship is carrying a group of aliens that are here to claim the planet for themselves. The survivors are taken prisoner, and the aliens begin to exploit the planet's resources. But the survivors refuse to give up. They plan a daring escape and take over the rescue ship, using it to blast the aliens out of the atmosphere. They then set about the task of repairing the damage to the planet, using their advanced technology to restore the environment and bring back the sun. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's content, please leave a like and comment down below. Also check out some of our other videos that we think you might enjoy.